Let's move on and take a look at sports. Here's Barong Tony Uranta.
Thank you, Joma, and welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's under-20 female football team, the Falconets, are confident as they brace up to face South Africa in the second leg of the final round of the qualifiers for the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. The Falconets will square up against South Africa at the Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium in Benin City tomorrow. Despite having a 2-0 advantage from the first leg after beating their opponents in Polokwane, the Falconets have promised not to underrate their South African opponents to ensure they pick the ticket. Nigeria has never failed to qualify for the Women's World Cup ever since Canada hosted the first edition in 2002. And meanwhile, Super Falcons midfielder Ngozi Okobi is delighted with the appointment of a new coach for the national team. Okobi, who has represented Nigeria 27 times, believes coach Thomas Dernaby will use his experience with the Swedish national team to help project Nigeria on the world stage. Having trained with Dernaby's assistant, Jürgen Peterson, Okobi believes their combination will be good for the development of women's football in the country. Okobi currently plays for Swedish club Eskilstuna United. And finally, Aqua United midfielder Ifeanyi that says the team is fully focused on the match against Angola, talking about the Chan Eagles here. He said the players will work hard and play according to the coach's instructions for them to achieve the desired result. Nigeria's home-based Eagles will play their final game, the group stage of the ongoing Chan over the weekend. And that's it on Sports for tonight. I'm Barong Tony Uranta, and Ijoma will be back with a wrap.
Thanks a lot for that, Barong. U.S. President Donald Trump has launched a fierce attack on predatory trade practices, warning trade partners at the World Economic Forum in Davos that the U.S. will not tolerate unfair trade. Mr. Trump says the practices are distorting markets and the U.S. will no longer turn a blind eye.
As President of the United States, I will always put America first, just like the leaders of other countries should put their country first also. But America first does not mean America alone. When the United States grows, so does the world. American prosperity has created countless jobs all around the globe, and the drive for excellence, creativity, and innovation in the U.S. has led to important discoveries that help people everywhere live more prosperous and far healthier lives. We cannot have free and open trade if some countries exploit the system at the expense of others. We support free trade, but it needs to be fair and it needs to be reciprocal, because in the end, unfair trade undermines us all.
In Asia, at least 37 people have been killed and more than 70 others injured in a fire at a hospital in South Korea. The blaze is thought to have started in the emergency room in the hospital southeast of Mirang. Now, it's South Korea's deadliest fire in almost a decade, and the death toll is expected to rise, with several of the injured in critical condition. To something a bit more cheery now, let's take a look at entertainment news tonight. Here's Mayowa Ogundili.
Many thanks. Here's stories on entertainment. As tributes continue to pour out for South African musician Hugh Masekela, Nigerian veteran saxophonist Kunle Ajayi also speaks of the one who was known as the father of South African jazz. In an interview with Channels Television, the veteran musician, who recently marked 30 years of his career with the wind instrument, called on the family of late Masekela to preserve his legacy for generations to come to enjoy.
I just wish his children or other people keep it up, and then the legacy he has to preach.
Okay.
And then, the only thing for me is, so I wish he had Christ before he died. I hope so.
Meanwhile, Fuji artist Sulaimon Adio, popular as Atawewe, says the indigenous genre remains relevant, as pop acts often draw inspiration from it. The singer, who has plied his trade both home and abroad for over 30 years, with notable performances in Europe and America, says Fuji is not threatened by the dominating influence of pop music in the Nigerian music industry, mainstream or otherwise.
It's all about Fuji. Without Fuji, they can never do anything. Any hip-hop in Nigeria today, listen to them, hear what they say, how they slangs, how they beat, all what they say. It's just being funkified.
That's it from me. The rest of the news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks a lot, Mayowa. And the main news again. President Muhammadu Buhari today arrived in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to participate at the 30th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. Part of the president's engagement at the summit is the flag-off of a continental campaign against corruption. Also today, before leaving for Addis Ababa, the president signed 8 bills already passed by the National Assembly into law, including an act seeking to establish a center to cater for the elderly. And a massive blaze at a hospital in the southeastern city of Miryang in South Korea today killed at least 37 people and injured 70 others. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Honyato. Do have a great weekend. Good night.